When we're talking with a potential client, we start our process by asking a lot of questions. And in this video, what I want to help is to help you understand what to prepare and what questions to listen for when you start talking with a web marketing company about starting a digital marketing campaign, rebuilding a website, kind of any service they might be doing for you. One quick note before we dig in is I would be very cautious about working with a marketing agency, especially a digital marketing agency, if their process does not start with a lot of questions to learn about your goals. What we consistently find is the more a campaign is tailored to the needs of a client, the better it performs. The information flow at the start should go from the client to the agency, not the other way around. So if the first conversation is the agency telling you what you need to do or how you need to do it, in my opinion, that's not getting things started off on the right foot. Our approach, and what I think works best, is the initial flow of information needs to go from the client to the agency. So we all know there's a million different ways to approach a digital marketing campaign. Every agency also has their own approach that they like to take. But my belief is the agency cannot structure a winning campaign without getting information from the client first. So if you're talking to an agency and they just give you a simple out-of-the-box plan and say it's going to be successful, I would be cautious of that. And here are the questions that I would look for them to ask, and the questions that we typically ask our potential clients that we're speaking with. The first and foremost is past marketing initiatives. So we want to analyze and hear directly from you what you've done in the past and what has worked and what hasn't. This can be some of the most critical information for us to understand what you've done, what you've gotten results from, what you felt did not bring the results you were hoping for. And then we can match that up to the data in your accounts and see if we can start understanding patterns of why that is. Obviously, if something worked, we don't want to stop doing that. We want to resume that activity, keep it going if it's already going, and try to improve upon that. If something hasn't worked, oftentimes based on that information, we can dig into the data and see why and understand ways to improve that. Beyond the past marketing, what I think is the most important conversation is what are your goals? So the client goals can vary wildly, even if they're in the same industry. Businesses have different ideas of how fast they want to grow, how much business they want to bring in, what success looks like. So this is one of the first things that we ask is sort of what does success look like, or what are your goals with this campaign? And that feeds in to our overall strategy. So we build our budgets, our approach, our channels, everything that we do off of these predefined goals. If you don't have a crystal clear understanding of what your goals are coming into the conversation, we try very hard to turn that conversation into a collaborative discussion of defining these goals together and then figuring out what strategies are going to help meet those goals. We just find time and time again, if these expectations are not set on the front end, we start with a strategy or start performing a service, or any agency does. And if it's not tied to the goals and what the client actually needs, oftentimes there has to be a reset. The strategy has to change if this conversation isn't done first. So if you are in talks with a marketing agency, if you're thinking about reaching out to a marketing agency, this is the process that we found works well. If you have any questions about that, we'd be happy to help. But I would encourage you, know your business best. And this flow of information to the agency first is very important. You know what you need, you know what your business challenges are, and communicating that effectively to the agency first is just simply the right way to start a campaign off on the right foot. Thanks.